Okay. I guess I should talk about. Ralph. I did not take adequate notes for talking about Ralph. I'm just gonna wing it. When I think about stuff, I'm gonna pull it up so I can show you what I mean. So, a couple weeks ago, Dick went on to a meetup, and it wasn't a road rage. It was planned by someone else. I don't know who the guy is that runs the show, but it's called "What Are These Podcasts?" And it's basically like a boomer friendly, like PG-13, from what I gather, kind of like take on various internet podcasts. Like I think he reviewed the the zoophilia podcast, and like all these weirdos who run podcasts and shit. And he tries to make comedy out of other people running podcasts that are shit. I don't think he's ever done mine, but people are probably going to demand eventually that he do mine. And the guy did a meetup, and Dick was invited. He did because he's a big fan of the guy, and sometimes they do collaboration episodes. And he shows up, and by all accounts that I can tell, everybody had a good time. Dick went by himself, didn't bring Riley, didn't bring Digibro, didn't bring Pantsu, didn't bring Ralph, and magically, Dick has a good time with fans of his show and fans of another show and a guy that runs that show that he also likes. Everyone has a good time. Wow. What fucking magic, huh? Go figure that that's all it took for Dick to have a good time, was just to get rid of all these fucking horrible people that he surrounded himself with. And then Ralph has a similar idea. He says, let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas. And he hints, I don't think he even hints. I think they outright say that he and May are going to get married in Vegas. What a great idea. Go to Vegas, have a big party, last hurrah, right? That's the white trash pastime, the last hurrah with the strippers and stuff at the bachelor party before getting married. Let's meet up. Let's get Dick there. Let's get some other East Libs there. Let's get married. And so he takes off to Vegas and completely reneges on all of his live streaming things. Like the one thing that Ralph, to his credit, has been able to do consistently is book interesting guests and show up on time to allow them to, present what they have to say. And the person that he bounced on was Devin Stack, who goes by like Black Pill on YouTube or something. Sorry, I forget the full YouTube name. I'm pretty sure, yeah. But he's done some great videos. I've actually featured one of his videos in an article I wrote, because he highlights very well how the whatever conspiracy, whatever name you want to give a global conspiracy, he outlines very well how those people benefit from a group of people with no unified culture, with no like race history, like you don't know what country you come from, what your people are, mixed race, genetically indeterminate mutts who have no religion and who are queer. They don't make families, they don't have ties to families, they don't have history, they don't have religious history, they have nothing. All they do is vote in a broken system and buy shit, and they don't think, they don't plan. They're literally too low IQ to understand how badly they're being fucked, and then they're way too low IQ to do anything about how they're being fucked. And he did a great video on that. I'll put a link in my site description so that people can see what I'm talking about. He's a very interesting guy, and he's a bit of a downer, to be honest with you. But he's perfect for an appearance on the Kill Stream in terms of appeasing Ralph's audience. And Ralph invites this guy, and then the same day that he's to appear, they confirm that there will be a Kill Stream where he's invited. And then Ralph gets cold feet on his own show with a very interesting guest that I'm sure his audience would have enjoyed listening to. And he's just like, I've never seen him so like openly disrespect his own audience. And by the way, he flounced on Devin Stack to go see a fucking white rapper at some trashy little Las Vegas show because some black guy happened to have a VIP at this shitty little club. So to flounce on Devin Stack for that kind of shit is just like a utter slap in the face, a spit in his eye for his work, you know, for like utter bullshit, mindless consumerism, the lowest class type of shit. But then at a free concert, but then he goes quiet, like. Dick does a stream where he's got a dashboard camera, his phone's on him, it's uplink, and he's streaming, he's looking at chat, he's talking and shit for like 6 hours, driving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. He gets there, nothing happens. And then he drives back, quietly. No pictures, I don't think there's even a picture of them together. There might be one picture of them together, but that's it. So I don't know what the fuck happened. But they, but as far as I know, nothing happened. And then apparently Mersh, who I don't know anything about, but apparently Jim doesn't like Mersh, Mersh doesn't like Jim, and for whatever reason, like literally I don't know anything about him, so I don't even try and say things about Mersh. I just know his name. Mersh was there. Mersh said that some disparaging things about Ralph and how he was desperate for like E-celeb attention or some shit. And I think one other guy showed up, and that's it. And I think what happened is Ralph at the last minute tried to invite all these people for this grand event where he would be surrounded, like Jesus Christ in the Last Supper, be surrounded by his friends accompanying him on his bachelor party before he is crucified to the obligations of marriage, right? And then nobody came. Nobody came, and instead of just like getting married quietly in like a Las Vegas chapel and being like, hey, we're married now, time to settle down, you know, the old Ralph Mills had his flings, you know, had his fun in the sun, but now I'm going to be like a family man and really commit to the pantsuit, and I'm going to like take care of this baby. I'm going to do it right this time. I feel it. I feel this is right. I'm going to do it right this time. He just doesn't get married. He just like, he does nothing for the entire vacation. Now he buys a fucking $1,000 Louis Vuitton man purse, and he wears it like a little backpack, like, which just looks ridiculous because he's got like this bulbous sphere shape to him, and he's got this shitty little fucking Louis Vuitton man purse on his fucking back. You know what you can take $1,000 and buy something for? You can buy like a real ring for your fiance. You can buy like a wedding dress that's like half decent. You know, for the price of your fucking Louis Vuitton man purse. I need to even find this. Well, I'll get to that. I guess now would be the appropriate time to mention perhaps one of the reasons why nothing happened on his trip is that he got served. Matthew Vickers, allegedly, not even allegedly, I think it's pretty confirmed now, went down to Las Vegas himself to slap in the hands of Ethan Ralph servicing papers, because Matthew Vickers had recently won a restraining order, an injunction against Ralph, prohibiting Ralph from harassing Vickers, basically. That protective injunction did not include Faith or the baby Xander. And so Faith also filed for a protective injunction against Ethan Ralph, and it was granted very quickly. But when someone, you know, when you have that judgment against someone, you have to serve them. And Matthew Vickers didn't know where Ralph was, so when Ralph starts tweeting his precise location in various, you know, like casinos and shit, Matthew Vickers literally goes to the casino and then hands a random fucking guy in the lobby of this casino and says, you see that fat fuck with the Louis Vuitton man purse? Give these to him and tell him that he has been served. And so this random stranger on holiday in Las Vegas takes these papers and hands them to Ralph, with Matthew Vickers kind of like looming in the background because, you know, he doesn't want to violate the terms of his restraining order either from his side. So, and he hands them, and then Ralph is like, I did my best Joker laugh. I knew what this was. I knew who it came from, and I just threw it in the trash. Which, by the way, is not a stellar legal concept. You don't want to do that because perhaps in the state of California, where when you service someone, it is the rules of the state issuing the judgment where the servicing rules apply. Real example. When Melinda Scott serviced me, quote unquote, serviced me to a electronic mailbox, like a virtual office where there's a physical location, but it's like an address that I don't actually live at. The sheriff's office, the officer in Florida wrote that it was serviced to that virtual office, and in Florida that's legal servicing. In Virginia, that is not legal servicing. So her default judgment was overturned because she didn't legally service me in a way that's appropriate in Virginia, even though it was appropriate in Florida. So my point is that he has to be careful with how he serves, and there might be an argument that he wasn't served unless he tweets to everybody, the public internet, that he was served, and then takes a fucking picture of the servicing in his fucking hoof and posts it to the internet saying, yes, I was served, I received this paper personally, I have been served. Like, the absolute thing that you don't want to do if you want to try and keep all your legal avenues open to you. I'm just fucking stupid, Jan. Exactly. So he gets served, and then for the rest of the week, he's like dead silent. He doesn't talk about anything. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't show up with anyone. He doesn't do anything interesting. However, there is one thing which I found very, very funny, and I want to show to you. I'm gonna have to use Knitter for this. I love my Knitter. I just go to knitter.net/ whatever Twitter handle I want to look up, and I can bypass all of the bullshit and just show you exactly what I wanted to see. So, oh no. Where is that picture at? Where is that picture at? Oh god, he like retweets so much fucking bullshit, like floods his inventory. Here, the funniest picture that Ralph has ever taken. Number one, that picture is very exploitable. You can make that steak anything you want. You can take that steak, because that plate is very easily exploited. So, I want to know, and don't you fucking dare, if you know the answer, don't you fucking dare say a word in chat. Chat, I want you to tell me how much you think he paid for that steak. Put a number in chat. We're doing Price is Right rules. And if you know it from the thread, don't you fucking dare spoil it for people. Price is Right rules. How much did he pay for that steak? Go for it. Here, wait. Can I put the music up? Do I have time for this? Ooh. Oh my god, chat. Okay, I'm looking. $30. No, not $30 for that steak. $100, too high. Jadalkin says 85, too high. 200, nope, too high. 85, too high. 50 is the closest. $90, too high. 62.70, that's our new closest. Jacob says 79, new closest. Joppel says 80, new closest. Is someone gonna get closer than that? 89's too high. Oh, I think Joppel's got it. I don't think we're gonna beat $79. Okay, I'm calling it for Joppel. He guessed $79, didn't go over. The real price of this hunk of beef on a platter is $84. $84 for plain beef on a plain white plate. No garnish, no sauce, no fucking sides, not a goddamn thing on it. And all you people, 85, Price is Right rules, that's too high. You're $1 off, get fucked. $84. And he takes a picture of this like he's fucking proud. He's eating at the Frank Sinatra namesake restaurant in Las Vegas. And it looks, I mean, when I saw this picture, I legit thought he was at, if you go to Vegas, they usually, like if you go to a casino, there's usually a buffet. And the buffet usually has like a like a world of selection. You got Chinese food, you got Italian food, you got Greek food, you got steakhouse, you got everything that you could ever want in one place, heaped up on a buffet, and it's usually okay food. And what happens is you sit at the casino, you pluck your dollars into the slot machine, you pull the handle, and grandma does this for 6 hours when she's enjoying her vacation. And then the little lady in her bunny outfit comes over and says, "Oh, you've been playing for so long. How would you like a free meal on the casino?" And of course, grandma goes, "Oh, I would love that." And then she gets comped the buffet, and her and grandpa go to the buffet, and grandpa gets that big steak. He goes up to the man at the buffet with his plastic plate. He holds it out and says, "I want that big old steak right there." And the steak man takes his big fork and pokes it into the steak and plops it on the plate. And grandpa goes and sits by his wife, and the wife is like, "Oh, you can't eat all that red meat. You'll get colon cancer again." And he'll be like, "Shut up, woman. I hate my wife." And then they'll eat. And that's I literally thought he was sitting at a buffet table with a fucking steakhouse cut of big ass fucking plain beef on his plate, and he got comped it at like the floor of a casino. But no, he went to the fucking biggest tourist trap on the strip and paid $84 for plain beef on a plain white plate. And he had Pantsu take a picture of this to put it on Twitter because he thought people would be jealous of this. Motherfucker, I went to some, I'm not trying to one up, I'm just saying, I went to some very nice places. I had some very nice food. I never paid for my meal more than $84. And that is with meals that had wine, including very fancy wine with like region controls and shit like that. And it's like, enjoyable, high quality food that's not $84 fucking dollars, because that's a scam, basically. The idiots say, "Oh, the Frank Sinatra place, I hear that's really high, that's highly rated. I'm gonna sit down and get an $84 piece of plain beef on a plain white plate," and then they're happy with it because they don't know any better. And it's really I don't know. I found great amusement. I'm not trying to be like a food snob or anything, but it's just how happy he is to have that that plain beef, to be grazing on that plain beef on that plain white plate on a gaudy orange cushion in the biggest tourist trap in the world. And he's acting like everyone should be jealous of him. Really sums up Ralph. My Josh flex, yeah. I'm just saying, if you have the money to spend on big ass fucking $84 steaks like that aren't even like they don't have the grill lines or anything. Like, you can go to a real restaurant and eat proper food, really good food that you'll remember. You take your fiance, who you bought a real ring for. You take her to a fancy place right before your wedding, right? Because you're getting married in Vegas, and you have a nice fine dining, and you invite Dick Masterson. Your maybe not for like the special time alone, but you invite him out to eat, and all your friends who of course came to visit you. You invite Gator. You say, "Gator, don't you worry. We're going to a Michelin star restaurant. We're going to eat Wagyu beef, and you're going to eat for free because you are my mensch. I appreciate you. I appreciate your endless work to make my podcast possible every day, twice a day, and this one's on me, buddy." And you sit down, and you all have a good time, and you don't fucking post it to Twitter because nobody gives a shit. It's just a thing for you and your friends, and nobody has to care. Can't do that. So he eats his plain cut of beef on a plain white plate all by himself, except for Pantsu, who is brain damaged. with his plain horse fiance Pantsu, who's not, I mean, really, she's not even plain. She's pretty ugly, but I don't know. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of the fiance. I like this. Someone pointed out, I guess they still have the menus out, so this was before he got his steak. She's like, I don't know what you would call this. When I do my streams, I've always had a rule, even way back when I did like the Amber Lynn streams and stuff. I try not to go too hard on appearance because, number one, those in glass houses should not throw stones. And number two, it's the easiest thing to go for. How many times can you say Pantsu is ugly and looks like a man, and is the most trans-looking natal woman I have ever seen. How many times can you possibly say that? But really, with Pantsu, it can't be overstated how much like Digibro she looks, and how like you show any person this picture and say what gender is on the birth certificate, they're immediately going to say man. They're going to, like, you might probably 80% of people will say man right off the bat, because it even has, Pantsu even has like the male hairline. She has like the like how Dick's haircut is, hairline is like receding a little bit. Like she has that kind of male hairline for someone in their 40s, and it's, I don't know. Which would you rather have, the steak or the horse? Smash it in chat. Which a lovely date with Pantsu or the $84 cut of plain beef? post it in chat right now. How do I shrink this? Oh, there we go. A horse. I see some horse emojis. Steak. Storse. I think most people want the steak. I can't blame you, but I wouldn't pay $84 for it. Okay, and that, I think that covers the whole, like, I mean, really, I was so hyped because our vacations were perfect. I was going out at the exact same time Ralph was, and I thought, man, I'm really gonna miss some quality content. I'm gonna miss some good fucking drama, but I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to come back and get my internet back on and see all the funny, weird shit that Ralph and Dick got into over the week in Las Vegas and Sin City. I can't wait to hear about the allegations of cheating, which I guess is the only thing I did miss. Ralph flew out to Vegas like a week before Pantsu and Dick did, and it is speculated that he flew out there to meet a woman named Love is a four-letter word, who is the biggest simp for Ralph. Like, just a genuine, like, hardcore fan of the show. Really, really likes Ralph. Is about 50 years old, but puts the Photoshop filters into high gear. Puts the chinky filters into high gear and looks kind of passable, right? And she tells people, I cover this already. I do. I remember this. Because I remember this point that I was talking about the hack of Secure Server and how Ralph was trying to play off that the leaked information meant nothing. But then a Plate Gang called up this woman, and she confirmed that she was flying out to Vegas the same exact day that Ralph was. So I remember that. So we got off to a rocky start, right? Like immediately, because obviously, like, it's and she changed her avatar to look like his avatar, which is like a reference to something I don't fucking know. But very obvious they were meeting each other, and they're probably gonna fuck, because Ralph has a history of meeting fans and fucking them. Has done it like 3 fucking times at this point. Like, come on, I'm not even good. Normally, I would give people the benefit of a doubt. I'm not going to assume that kind of shit about everyone, even if it is funny. But Ralph, there's no reason to give him, like, that's obviously what he did. He flew out there to fuck her. And then had a week alone in Vegas, one of the only places where open prostitution with brothels and everything is legal. And then Pantsu flies out for the wedding, of course. That's his last hurrah. He's going to bang the fan, bang some hoes, and then get married. Well, again, surrounded by friends who didn't come.